Hi, y'all. Have you guys ever wondered about the causes of your fears and desires?
Well, psychoanalysis could provide you with those answers. Today we're going to delve into three subtopics of psychoanalysis: dreams and dream symbols, the meaning of death, and the meaning of sexuality.
Our first topic of discussion is dreams and dream symbols. According to the principles put forth by psychoanalysis, dreams are the manifestations of your unconscious mind. Therefore, it is a primary outlet for psychoanalysts to analyze the unconscious mind.
Okay, so here's an example psychoanalysis of a dream. Let's say in this dream you're being stabbed and then subsequently robbed by a man with a knife. This is known as the manifest content, or the actual content of the dream that you perceive, and psychoanalysis can use manifest content to derive latent content, which is the underlying meaning of your dream. If we take a closer look at this dream, you can see that the person stabbing you is actually Harold, your friend. In psychoanalysis, Harold could be a safe person standing in for a more threatening figure. This is known as dream displacement. Some examples of what this situation might represent are a feeling that your parents are neglecting your dreams and happiness, or a feeling that your friends are taking advantage of you. This is an example of condensation, when one dream represents multiple conflicts in the unconscious mind. Dream displacement and condensation are known as primary revision because they are changes that occur while you are dreaming. Sometimes when you wake up, you might forget parts of a dream or remember them differently. This is known as secondary revision.
Another important aspect of analyzing dreams is recognizing female and male imagery. Male imagery includes guns, towers, arrows, rockets, and swords, to name a few, and are collectively known as phallic symbols. Some examples of female imagery are caves, walled gardens, cups, milk, and fruit. These symbols, along with others, are integral in discerning the latent content of a dream. When our dreams manifest themselves while we are conscious and we can no longer repress or disguise the issues of our unconscious mind, this is known as crisis or trauma.
Our next topic of discussion is the meaning of death. Our experiences with death also play a large factor in our psychological behavior. In order to better explain human behavior, psychoanalysts posited that humans have an inborn death drive called thanatos.
These ideas are in response to the self-destructive nature observed in humans. Humans can be seen to have a tendency to destroy themselves psychologically or physically at the individual scale. This concept can also be brought into whole nations of people, where we observe what can be seen as an almost perpetual form of mass suicide through wars and other internal conflicts. To psychoanalysts, this explanation of the human inclination to harm themselves serves as a way to describe death within the human experience as a more abstract and less personal concept.
We try to explain death in abstract terms because we are afraid of death. Death is the ultimate abandonment. When you die alone. Even if you die with other people, you experience your own death individually. In a more symbolic way, fear of death can lead to fear of intimacy. The fear of losing someone to death can prevent you from seeking meaningful relationships in the first place. Fear of death can be associated with fear of loss in general, such as your house burning down or being abandoned by your parents.
Our final topic of discussion is the meaning of sexuality.
Sexuality is also another major part of psychoanalysis.
Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, postulated that sexual desire arose from a life-affirming drive called eros, which acted opposite of the previously mentioned thanatos. Freud closely linked sexuality to one's identity. According to Freud, sexuality is not just a product of biological tendencies, rather it is deeply rooted in the unconscious mind.
Culture is also a large driving factor in sexuality because our culture sets down norms for what is acceptable and what is not in regards to sexuality.
Freud divided the human mind into three parts: the id, the ego, and the superego. The id is the source of our unconscious desires, the ego is the conscious self that perceives the world and affirms the self, and the superego is the product of internalized social values.
In relation to sexuality, Freud also put forth the ideas of castration anxiety and penis envy. Castration anxiety is the fear of losing one's penis observed in men, and penis envy is the desire for a penis in women. This can be explained by the cultural definition of gender roles in Victorian society when Freud was alive, where men held a higher status in society than women. When applied to a modern context, these two concepts are not literally used. Rather, it is used symbolically to represent a fear of losing power or a desire to gain power.
Dreams, death, and sexuality all have a great impact on psychoanalytic studies and can shine a light on the motivations of human behavior, which is the purpose of psychoanalysis.
We hope that after watching this video, you've learned a thing or two about psychoanalysis.
Oh, God.